Hey, how's it? Alright, listen, I know I haven't uploaded in a very long time and I apologize for my shitty upload schedule. On the bright side, I just finished my last final, so I'll be off college and on spring break for the next 2 weeks. Expect a lot of consistency here soon. Today's video was decided by you guys from the community tab. If you want to contribute to future videos, I will put polls there every now and then. Anyways, let's get into the topic of today's video, the general improvement guide for Apex Legends, more specifically coming from a solo movement player's perspective. While all of this advice is coming from my perspective and how I've progressed in Apex, I still think that you can at least apply some of it to your own improvement. First, let's talk about what improvement really is. For me, it's tracking my weaknesses and mistakes and minimizing them through certain methods I'll talk about later. But how do you even know your weaknesses? The best way to identify weaknesses and mistakes is by recording your gameplay and reviewing it after you're done playing. Some things will stand out more than others. For example, aim, positioning, and decision making are three of the most common ones to look at. Each of these three aspects of gameplay essentially make up your entire playstyle. Aim is seen as the most important skill in FPS gaming, and while it is very important in Apex, I still think that it shouldn't be the only thing you focus to improve at. You see, when first starting my Apex journey, I was definitely not proud of my aim. Out of the entire week's worth of playing, I'd say I was probably only getting one good aim day in that entire week if I was lucky. So then I did the most logical thing any person would do and bought Kovacs. I started putting in around 4 to 6 and sometimes even more hours a day into grinding the voltaic scenarios. And don't get me wrong, my aim did actually start to get better, but I felt like something was off. I was playing Kovacs even more than the actual game itself, and it was almost like my entire purpose was just to grind my aim than actually experience the fun of the game. Grinding aim trainers like this can lead to burnout and loss of motivation for improvement. This is why I wouldn't stress about aiming too much. Most of the aim skill within Apex comes naturally as you play. I still agree that aim training could be beneficial, but I'm really against just doing it so much that you're not even playing the game anymore. If you really believe your aim needs a lot of improvement, I would recommend doing a 15 to 30 minute warm up a day in the range or in an aim trainer and just stay consistent with it, and your aim should improve more naturally. Just remember that it needs to be more of a balance of skills rather than an extreme imbalance of them. No amount of aim practice can save you from terrible positioning and decision making. Next, let's talk about positioning and decision making. The first couple of seasons I started playing Apex, I would always play with my friends and not really take improvement seriously. My aim was decent, but I didn't really know much about the thought process behind taking fights. So how I tackled this lack of knowledge was through strictly no-filling pubs. No-filling and just solo queue in general is honestly one of the most humbling experiences ever. I even thought I was a decent player, but then I tried taking a 1v3 and I got nervous and died instantly off drop. If this sounds familiar, don't worry about it too much. It'll go away with more practice and experience. As for your positioning and decision-making skills, they will also gradually improve as you progress. What no-filling teaches you is that an unfair fight should be the norm, and that any unfair scenario thrown at you is still winnable with enough practice. If no-filling trios is too difficult for you, you can do what I did before and start with duos and then progress into trios as you feel more comfortable. Next, I'm going to segue these topics into another very important skill to learn: map knowledge. What is map knowledge? It's the memorization of each map's POI and understanding all of the good and bad positions, escape routes, movement spots, rat spots, and etc. It's basically just knowing the map's design and knowing how to utilize it to your advantage in some way. Having a mental map of the entire place you're fighting at is going to give you a huge positioning advantage in your fights. You're going to start recognizing what is a good push and what is a bad push based off your knowledge of the map. Basic map knowledge really just comes with playtime and doesn't have to be manually learned, but there's so much more to each POI's design than meets the eye. This is my area of expertise as a movement player. Movement players just have more map knowledge about the potential outplays of each POI, and therefore can come up with more creative and unpredictable plays. Again, memorizing the map just comes with time and repetition, but if you want a really good foundation of map knowledge, I have many videos like climb spots, positioning tricks, and movement outplays that you can check out further back in my video list. The last thing I'm going to talk about in this video is the reason why a lot of you are here: the movement. I already have a video discussing how to tackle learning the movement playstyle, which I'll link below. To summarize the video, I bring up 3 main points. 1. Master the movement fundamentals. 2. Branch out into other movement techs, and 3. Building a strong foundation of map knowledge. I still stand by these points, but I feel like I left out something very important. At least for me, one thing that really helped was watching other streamers and learning from the best of the best. I learned a lot from mainly watching Gruic, Fade, and Stormin. More specifically, I looked at Lyric for mastering movement mechanics, Fade for mastering positioning and decision making, and Stormin for aim and creativity. And I'm not saying you have to watch YouTube or Twitch 24/7, but just having someone to look up to for inspiration is always good to stay motivated. So the general strategy I would follow is to just stick to following those 3 points and learning from others as you do so. Anyways, I hope all of you enjoyed watching today's video and found at least something useful to take away from it. And for those of you wondering, yes, I'm still going to do that zip movement guide at some point, either this week or next week. I also have at least 5 YouTube worthy games that I haven't posted, so expect another video soon. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something new.